The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Shadows and Stardust podcast. I am your host, Andrea Jane, and today I have a very special guest for you. Another very good friend of mine, Wizard of NYC and owner of Æther's Magic. Please welcome my good friend, Scott Wass. Hi, Scott. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy to finally have you here and share all of your amazing abilities and craft and talent with the world.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. Well, I am a Reiki master. I studied herbs for 3 years, herbology. I do crystal healing. I work with crystals. I work with body flow because I used to be a gymnast for 13 years. So I know about movements and body flow and stretching and everything. And I also work with a new way of technique that I invented. It's called the Æther, and it's basically the portal into the spiritual realm. So, I do a little bit of everything, I guess,
I do. It's amazing. Let's start from the top. You're a Reiki master, but not just that. You're also a teacher. Tell us about that.
So I teach Reiki, and I also teach the Æther way, and I teach herbs, I teach crystals, but I've had quite a few students that I've given certificates to for Reiki, and I also teach body movement. If people need to learn how to be connected with their bodies, stretch, breath flow with the movement of stretching, Tai Chi, I do that as well. So I offer an array of different techniques for people to connect with their inner self and their inner magic.
That's amazing. And you mentioned that you are a gymnast, but that is something that you've done your entire life. Am I right?
Yes.
You remind me, right?
Yeah.
You've been doing that since you were a child.
Yeah, I started when I was like 9 years old, and I went until I was 19. Like 17 to 19. I could have started to veer out a little bit once I got into high school, and I wanted to party and live a normal life and not be a gymnast, an athlete. So I started to get into dance, and that's where another movement comes from. So, but yeah, I
love
doing
that.
gymnastics.
You bring great energy with your dance and your yoga, even online. And I remember, I think that's one of the first videos that I experienced when I had first met you. I saw one of your yoga stretching tutorials that you had posted, and very inspiring. And I thought it was really great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have some questions for you about crystals. I think that if anybody went to check you out on the internet, one of the first things they're going to see are crystals. Tell us about crystals and your experience with them, and just all the things. What inspired you to start working with all of these different types of magic. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I've always been into crystals. I've always been connecting with the rocks and the trees and the crystals and animals. You know, it's much easier to connect with those properties a lot quicker than humans. Humans, you have to get through an ego. But, you know, with uh, crystals, it's much easier to connect. They're designed to connect with us and share energy and, you know, help us and heal us. And each crystal has a healing factor. So that's how I started to get into it. And I was also making wands. I make crystal wands and I make malas. So I started to really dive into it and try to figure out and study about the crystals as much as I can, so I know what I'm making the wand. So if people want a custom wand, or if they need something that they particularly need help in, I can design something that will help them on their path and heal them at the same time.
I love the wands. I think out of all of the products, and we're going to get into Scott's products, so stay with us because there's so many amazing things that you create here. The wands, though, are just so absolutely unique and take such an amount of detail and craftsmanship. Now, if anybody's listening and you're wondering, what are we talking about? Go search up Æther's Magic and on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, anywhere, and you can see these wands that he makes. They're absolutely amazing. Can you tell us about what the process is like for you to create a wand, where it begins, just like, spiritually, energetically, and then and physically? Like, how do you create them?
So in my studies and everything, I have learned that copper, well, it's known that copper is a transmitter of energy. It's one of the purest transmitters of energy. It's a conductor, if you have it. And in Egypt, crystals and copper was a very strong component together. So that gave me the idea to create crystal wands using copper. So I get a copper base and I make the wands out of copper. I fill it with these crystals that I'm going to be using, so it can make a chime when you move it, and it kind of activates the energy and the magic inside of the crystal. And then I inlay it with a ribbon, and I connect the crystals that are calling to me to make for that wand. Because, like they say in Harry Potter, that the wand chooses you. It's true. The wand does choose you.
Yeah.
So when I'm making a wand, I try to channel what the energy of the universe wants me to make at that moment, because I know soon it will find its host. So that's how I make my wands.
I love it. They're absolutely amazing. They're so unique. And going on with the rest of, these amazing creations that you make, you also make malas. And I have been fortunate enough to have two of your beautiful creations that I absolutely love. And they're so energetically charged. They're so purposeful, each in their own as well. And now I even know how long I've had one for 2 years now. Almost 2 years was the first one you made for me, and then the second one was for my brother for his urn, and that's been about a little bit over maybe a year and 5 months now.
Yeah, your mala spoke to me to give to you. That's how it was gifted to you. It was yours.
It was magic. Like it is magic. Like when I say that, I'm not just trying to fluff up my bestie over here in NYC. I'm just saying it. He's just this, very unique and divine energy. And I think that anybody that has experienced you, whether in real life or even virtually, you know, just bopping around here doing the live videos and stuff, it really, you know, you project this beautiful energy, and it's very absolute. I don't know if that makes sense. That's just what's coming out of my mouth right now. It's very absolute. When you say this is what this is going to do, that's exactly what it's going to do. It's absolutely what it's going to do. And
Thank you. You're making me blush.
I want to put the camera on so I can say. So the malas, the bracelets. So tell us about the crystals that you're using for these malas and bracelets. Like, what are your go-tos, and how do you source to make sure that they're absolutely like the best quality?
So yeah, it's very important to know the people that you're getting your crystals from, and know that there are, there's no bad juju connected to it. And also, I heavily charge and cleanse the crystals when I get them. I cleanse them, and then I put my own energy into them, which is Reiki energy, and that's the energy that you're feeling and the charge that you're feeling. It's actually the universe, and I'm just making the mala or the wand a portal. So it's basically a vessel for you to feel the energy, to feel the power of the universe, and then bring it into you and create your own magic with it, and create your own loving entity. And it's basically like an energizer dummy. It's just there to make you stronger.
I think it's amazing. And I know that you give people the option for you to do as you did with me and create the piece off of what, you know, spirit tells you, and what you energetically feel that person needs. Um, but do you also create these pieces custom if somebody was to say to you like, hey, I want to get a onyx mixed sapphire, quartz, whatever? Do you
Hmm.
build custom pieces?
Totally, 100%. I build custom pieces, and what I do is I tell people for the mala, you just pick 3 stones that are calling to you, or that you feel you need in your life at that moment, or your 3 favorite stones. And I will create my own Æther pattern for the mala. And for the crystals, I ask them the same thing. Tell me what crystals you like. You have a choice of 3 crystals. Three is it's a God number. So it's very important for me for everything to be in threes.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
it's like super powerful. And, you notice that every religion has threes. The Holy
Yeah.
Ghost, the Father, the Son, and then you have Shiva with his 2 companions. So that's three. And there's always three in every religion. So three is a very powerful number. So I make sure that that's in all of my work. And I also give people the option if they want me to charge it with the Reiki energy. And, just by me doing it, my energy goes into it. So you could feel the power. But I tell them if they don't want it, just sage or use selenite, and that will cleanse the energy. And you can have it fresh and new. So I give people the choice. And custom made is definite. I do a lot of custom made pieces.
That's amazing. So I have to ask you, while we're on the topic of crystals, what are your top 3 favorite crystals and why?
Yeah, that's a great question. So aquamarine is one of my favorites. Aquamarine is great for the throat chakra. It helps you to speak your truth and find the truth in any situation. It helps for people to understand you clearly, to make your communication come through. It's also of the water element, so it helps with a lot of emotions and the balance of the tide. And it's controlled by the moon. And when it's a full moon, it's very powerful. I love labradorite. Labradorite is a beautiful stone. Kind of reminds me of what dragon's skin would look like.
Mm-hmm.
It's the stone of the magician. So that
Yes.
stone, yeah, it's
It's my
incredible.
favorite.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's a very old stone as well,
Yeah.
and it awakens the magic inside of you, and it
Mm.
helps you to see things clearly. Hence, all the flashes inside of the stone.
Yeah.
And my most favorite is lapis lazuli.
I knew it. I was waiting
Yeah.
for it. It's perfect. That is you. If you were a crystal, you would be a lapis lazuli
And
for
so
sure.
I take that as
Yes.
such a great compliment.
Yes. It
Yeah,
is. Well,
lapis lazuli is, yeah, go ahead.
tell us why. Yeah. Go ahead. Continue, because you know the properties and the benefits. Go ahead. Tell us
Yeah,
about lapis.
so lapis lazuli is even older stone. It was used in Egypt time or even before then. It's considered the holy stone in Buddhism, and it's actually the history of lapis is amazing. It's what they used to use to draw on the cave walls, and it's this the stone. I'm not sure if it was Cleopatra or Nefertiti. One of them used to crush it up and add oil and use it as eyeliner, which
Oh
I wouldn't recommend doing today because it's poisonous.
no!
But
Don't do
back
that.
then they did a lot
Yeah,
of things that.
they didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. So I love that.
They had enough
Mhm.
pure water to cleanse that toxin out. We don't have the pure water anymore. All right. So don't crush up any lapis lazuli for your eyes,
No,
ladies.
don't do
Al-
that.
Also, it's Buddhism. You gotta say Buddhism, and it's
I
okay.
did.
And Scott's mind is somewhere else right now.
It's my New York accent,
See,
it's like makes my words sound jumbled
well,
together.
I got a quotation. His New York accent did that, bro. I love you.
Totally.
You're the
Yeah,
best.
lapis is great. I
Lapis
love
lazuli.
lapis. Yeah.
Yeah,
And lapis lazuli has pyrite inside of it and calcium.
yeah,
So you're getting three stone powers in one.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I totally agree with a labradorite. I love labradorite, and then I've always had onyx. Um, Onyx is a very powerful stone for me, um, and it benefits me very much. Not so much people that cross me, but onyx is a
Right.
wonderful stone,
Well,
and
I think that you would be an onyx if you were a stone. I could totally see
I
that for you.
accept that. I absolutely accept that. And not say lately, it's but this half of my life I've enjoyed obsidian, which is volcanic glass. If anybody didn't know, it's very great
Yeah,
for absorbing negative energies. So
100%. And the way obsidian is formed is pretty magical. It's
yeah,
lava that's cooled
yeah,
quickly, intensively, and it
volcanic glass.
becomes, yep, volcanic glass. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that
Even
makes it
shot
even
up into
better.
the sky. Yeah. And then it comes through back through our atmosphere.
It's great.
And, mm-hmm.
It's wonderful for paranormal workers, and I didn't prepare you for this question, so you're getting put on the spot right now. But this is Paranormal Buzz Radio, of course, so we're going to ask you, have you ever had a paranormal experience that you'd like to
Yes.
share? What would be the most significant one, or something that stays with you, like in your mind?
So when I was straight, I had a girlfriend for a long time. I think 5 or 6 years, and we were playing Ouija board. Me and my girlfriend and her sister and my best friend. So we were all like, you know, together and
Talking to dead people.
talking to dead people, children. Like I must have been 14, 15, and the ghost didn't like me. He was in love with my ex-girlfriend, and
Oh,
yeah, he said he was going to start haunting me.
oh.
So that
That's why you
night,
don't date women anymore?
Yeah, exactly. No. So
That's the best story, but I'm sorry. Continue.
well, that night I went to bed and I was on the third floor of my house. I lived in the like attic part, and I woke up in the middle of the night and the front of my window was all foggy, like you couldn't see out. It was just a fog.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this face pressed up against the window,
Oh,
and
he
my
was
closet
big
door
mad.
started, yeah, and my closet door started opening.
Oh no! Did you run?
So oh yeah, of course, I ran downstairs to my sister's room. So needless to say, I stayed in my sister's room until I was probably, 16 for a whole year because it really scared the shit out of me. But
Oh,
I go upstairs the next day, and my sister had her best friend over, and we go upstairs, we go to the room, and the face print is still imprinted in the window.
oh wow!
And she goes to rub it on the inside, and it doesn't come off. She sticks her hand on the outside of the window and rubs it, and the face print came off.
Wow.
It
This
was
is New
so
York too,
freaky.
right? New York
Yeah,
City.
New York City.
Scott's a New York City boy. He's born and raised. He's been there his whole life. That's crazy. And to think in the city too. Like I don't know. For me, I'm from the city too, but still, like it's just I don't know. That's crazy. That's a
It
great
was,
story.
yeah, it was crazy. It was
You don't get
crazy.
faces on your windows at your apartment now, right?
No,
Yeah.
ever.
Did you
Like,
break
and
up with
this
her
is,
after that?
um, no, but
Yeah.
I think a couple of months later, she had to move or something happened where she was moving and we had to break up or whatever.
That
But
poor girl. Oh yeah.
it was crazy. It was
Some
crazy.
creepy ghost following her around.
Hmm.
She's listening. If you're listening to this and you recall Scott Wars, you can give us a call. We can help you.
Yes.
Dark Mirror Paranormal.
Yes,
Dark
yes.
Window Paranormal at this point.
Hmm.
That's
Totally.
that's a crazy story. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, my pleasure. It was a crazy experience. It just popped in my head when you said that because that's my most memorable. And I don't really see spirits. I'm not a medium. Like you are a gifted medium. You're amazing. I've seen you and you've helped me out in times of situations with some of my clients that needed help with mediumships because you're just incredible. I don't see ghosts, but feel the energy of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one time I had a ghost standing over mine and my ex-boyfriend's bed, and I can see the whole outlay of him, and I just felt the sadness. So I feel things like that. But yeah, those are my two crazy ghost stories.
Very interesting. You had me. It was a little entertaining too. You did have me laughing, and I'm so sorry. But that is
Yeah.
a crazy. That is pretty. I would. That is significant. I would be thoroughly freaked out if I was
Yeah.
face printed on a window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it freaked me out. And
Yeah.
being on the third floor of the house, that kind of like, it wasn't like somebody could just do it from the bottom, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Very
it was
strange.
freaky. Yeah,
Very
I
strange.
needed you back then.
Yeah, I would have put my face right back on the window. I would have been like, next. I could do
It would
that
have been
too.
like, exactly, I can top you.
Give me some paint.
Mm,
But anyways, all right. Let's shake off the ghost story. Let's shake that off. So tell me about what did we miss? So you've got your wands. You've got these malas, absolutely beautiful that you sell. You do provide services as well.
yes.
Um, so if you don't know, now you know. Scott and I actually met online during the pandemic, and we started a little gig together.
Hmm.
It's called Saturday Night Live, and we used to get together on Saturday nights and do free live readings for our community online. And we both well, more so Scott, but got busy, and we've kind of let that go to the wayside. And we were talking, we were like, we would love to do a podcast, and here we are. Uh,
Yes.
Here we are doing our first podcast, and it's so exciting. I've been long awaiting this, and I know that you've created this page, um, which I think is perfect for you, being the New York City boy that you are, and the wizard that we all know you are, and it's Wizard NYC. So tell us about your plans with that page. Do you plan on doing some live readings again? Are you going to be offering services, or where do you think you're going to go with that?
Totally. Like you said, I got really busy. Being in New York City, you kind of get sucked into the badness, and I'm starting to have my free time again. So now I'm going to start concentrating more and offering classes for Reiki, teaching people about the ether, and also doing readings and body flow. And, you know, if anybody needs mediumship, you're my girl. You're like my spiritual sister. So you're definitely in there. And, just try to do more things to help the community to grow and, really teach them about their own inner power. And,
Yeah.
you know, just dive back into it and start accepting, you know, requests or whatever the case may be for anything, wands, malas. You can go to my page and you can contact me. And if you
Yeah.
have any questions or stuff like that, they can contact me. And, you know, even you, because I feel like you're amazing. Like you are my left hand.
Yeah, if you ever have trouble reaching Scott because he's over here doing 2,100 things, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to help. And you know what? There is one other thing we forgot. And I know this is not new, but it is new to your store. So let's talk about that real quick. Aether's Magic. So Aether's Magic you created quite some time ago. And that was kind of like an all everything in a bag, everything that you do in a bag, and now it looks like we're transforming that into your store to sell your products that you're making, which I think is amazing. But one thing we forgot to talk about are your teas.
Oh, yeah.
Scott's a master herbalist. He actually inspired me to start studying, um, and now I'm actually certified as well. And I was inspired by Scott, and I think it was in 2021. He was doing a live video, or he posted a video about golden milk, and I
Mm.
thought, what the hell is that? Golden milk. I had no idea what it was. Tell us about it. Tell us about your teas and the magic that you make with that.
Well, so I studied herbology with an amazing teacher, Lata. She's New York City based as well. And I love her. She's amazing. And, she would tell me that, let the herbs speak to you. And it's sort of like crystals. You let the
Mm.
crystals speak to you, the herbs speak to you too. So I started to work with the herbs, and I just got messages of putting these different ingredients together to make golden milk. And the main ingredient is almond milk for people who are lactase intolerant or something like that. So I use almond milk and coconut milk. And I use turmeric milk, turmeric herb, turmeric,
Yeah.
cinnamon,
That's,
nutmeg, all these different ingredients. And it's an amazing golden milk. It's
like a
turmeric.
decoction.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I can't say that word, but yes.
That's what I'm here for. I got your back.
Exactly,
It's a
exactly,
collaboration of Boston and New York here, and
exactly.
so these ingredients in that milk are so good for blood flow, circulation, inflammation, and the
Hmm.
calming effect that you get from that.
Yeah.
Um,
And
it was
also,
calm.
turmeric is good for the brain. So there's
Yeah,
something inside of turmeric. There's something inside of turmeric that really, when we get older, we start developing a film on our brain. It's just natural. It
yeah,
happens. And the turmeric eats away at that film. That's
Yeah.
why you don't see a lot of Indian people with Alzheimer's degree, Alzheimer's and memory loss, because they have turmeric in their diet and they are consuming turmeric all the time.
Yeah.
And it's amazing for the brain. It really helps with,
Yeah.
the brain.
I had to get myself acquainted with turmeric. I didn't like it at first, but it's a staple for me, and I can attest to it being a very effective spice, and it's amazing. And not just that, you're very well versed with all different herbs. I
Right.
know that you love rose. Rose water is something I remember talking to you about recently, and creating that. And I think that is just amazing thing. And then all of the ideas of expansion for your store. What do you see? Um, where do you plan to be in a year with Aether's Magic? What do you foresee offering along with these crystals and teas and everything?
Basically, a community. So
That's
that's
great.
what Æther's Magic is going to be. It's going to be a community of people that can call each other brother and sister and learn from each other and be open and be yourself, and just creating a bond that, to let people know that we're there. And, it's a family. And basically, in that is going to be teaching, it's going to be mentoring, it's going to be crystal learning, it's going to be everything to do with the ether. It's basically being the vessel and learning it all. You know,
That's
just teaching
awesome.
people what I know and what my other, people that are involved. Like, I know you're going to be a part of it. So, like, just about just being a community
I love
and
it.
being one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're already there. Just putting the gas. All you got to do is just add a little more gas to it, and it's really taken off. And I have your back, 110,000%. Anything you ever need, and I think what you're doing is amazing, and that mission statement is just it really just seals the deal, and it is very it's very rewarding to have you as a friend, and just to be offering this community out to the masses, and given this access to you and your knowledge and your crafts is really a blessing that you're extending. And I'm going to thank you for it personally, and I'm sure a lot of other people would love to do so and will, and there'll be more. Just keep on keeping on and keep sticking to it, because it's really I just think it's so unique, and it's going to help a lot of people, and it's going to change a lot of people's lives, and you have that power. You do. You're very
Thank you.
smart, you're very talented, and you're a very unique individual. So thank you. And thank you for sharing all of this with us tonight. And was there anything else that you wanted to add? Or
Just thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for all that you do and your amazing work. And
thank
if
you.
anybody wants to contact me, you go to Æther's Magic on TikTok, Instagram. You can see Scott Wass on Facebook, or Wizard NYC on Facebook, and Æther's Magic on Facebook too. And yeah, and that's it. Thank you. Thank you for a great interview.
You are very welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. And just because I want to make sure that people can actually spell Æther is
Yes.
Aether. So when you're looking up Æther's Magic, it's Aether. Okay. Sometimes I made that mistake, to be honest, and I missed like the A or the E. So, but
Thank you for
yeah,
that.
you're
Yeah.
welcome. And thank you so much for taking your time to be with me tonight. I think you're wonderful. And I hope that everybody that's listened has enjoyed this podcast. And I'm sure there'll be many more because I'll be dragging Scott on here at least once a month. We'll find more things to talk about. And again, thank you everybody for listening in. We appreciate you taking the time to be here with us tonight. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Wicked Wednesday. Stay spooky, and we'll haunt you later.